Again, good morning, everyone. This is your Nilofer ma'am. I am explaining you lesson 5A quality of English literature. In the first part of the video, I have explained you half lesson in which I have told you that the lesson is about Mr. Gessler, a German shoemaker who was settled in London. He made a good quality of boots, but due to a lack of advertisement, he did not have too much work. The author used to go to Mr. Gessler for ordering the boots, and one day the author went to the shop of Mr. Gessler for ordering the boots, and he was wearing the boots which he has purchased from the other shops. What Mr. Gessler said to the author that we were discussing, so let's move forward. They get it all. They get it by advertisement, not by work. They take it away from us who love our boots. It comes to this presently. I have no work. Every year it gets less. You will see. And looking at his lined face, I saw things I had never noticed before. Bitter things and bitter struggle, and what a lot of grey hairs there seemed suddenly in his red beard. So when Mr. Gessler has seen the shoes which the author was wearing from the other shop, he said that the big firms takes the work from the small traders by using the advertisement. They take away the customers from the small traders, the customers who loved the boots of Mr. Gessler. Now the same customers want to purchase the boots from the big firms, and at present time Mr. Gessler was suffering from struggle and he was having no work. And suddenly the author noticed that he can see the gray hair in the red beard of Mr. Gessler, and he can see the bitter things on his tongue and the bitter struggle which he was facing at that time. As best I explained the circumstances of those ill-omened boots, but his face and voice made so deep an impression that during the next few minutes I ordered many pairs. They lasted longer than ever, and I was not able to go to him for nearly 2 years. So, after watching the sorrow of Mr. Gessler, what best thing the author can did at that time, he explained the circumstances that why the author has purchased the boots from the other shop, and he has said that ill-omened boots because the boots were not comfortable in the foot of the author, but the face and the voice of Mr. Gessler made the author so emotional that in during the next few minutes the author ordered for many pairs of boots, and the boots lasted longer than ever. So obviously because of that the author was not able to go to Mr. Gessler again for nearly 2 years because the boots were too good. The boots were having too good quality. It was many months before my next visit to his shop. This time it appeared to be his elder brother handling a piece of leather. So, for 2 years, the author did not go to the shop of Mr. Gessler, and when the author is writing the story, it was before many months when the author has visited the shop of Mr. Gessler, and this time it appeared to be the elder brother of Mr. Gessler who was handling a piece of leather. Well, Mr. Gessler, I said, how are you? He came close and peered at me. I am pretty well, he said slowly, but my elder brother is dead. So when the author has asked to Mr. Gessler that how he was, Mr. Gessler replied that he was pretty well, but his elder brother was dead. And I saw that it was indeed himself, but how aged and when, and never before had I heard him mention his brother. Much shocked, I murmured, "Oh, I am sorry." And that time the author has uh, observed that Mr. Gessler was completely in sorrow, and he has become old now. And before that the author has never heard Mr. Gessler that he was mentioning about his brother. So after listening about the news of the death of Mr. Gessler, the author was completely shocked, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry." "Yes," he answered, "he was a good man. He made a good boot, but he is dead." And he touched the top of his head where the hair had suddenly gone as thin as it had been on that of his poor brother to indicate, I suppose, the cause of his death. "Do you want any boots?" And he held up the leather in his hand. "It's a beautiful piece." And that time Mr. Gessler said yes. And he was telling to the author about his brother, that his brother was a good man and he made good boots, but he is dead at now. And that time Mr. Gessler has touched the top of his head where his hair had suddenly got thin, which was happened to his brother also. And he asked to the author, do you want any boots? And he showed him a piece of leather which he was holding in his hand, that it's a beautiful piece. I ordered several pairs. It was very long before they came, but they were better than ever. One simply could not wear them out, and soon after that, I went abroad. So, when the author has heard the news of the death of Mr. Gessler's brother, so he ordered several pairs of boots, and it has taken much time because Mr. Gessler made boots of very good quality, so it took a lot of time. But the boots which came to the author were very good of quality, and they lasted for a long time. And soon what happened, the author went to abroad. It was over a year before I was again in London, and the first shop I went to was my old friend. So after a 1 year, the author was again in London, and he went to the shop of his old friend, that was the shop of Mr. Gessler. I had left a man of 60. I came back to one of 75, pinched and worn, who genuinely this time did not at first know me. So the author is saying that when he left for abroad, Mr. Gessler was of 60 years, and when he came back, Mr. Gessler was looking like of 75 years old, pinched and worn. And at first time, Mr. Gessler did not, know the author, did not recognize the author. Do you want any boots? He said. I can make them quickly. It is a slack time. And Mr. Gessler asked to the author that, do you want any kind of boots? I can make them quickly. It is a slack time. I answered, please, please, I want boots all around, every kind. And the author said, yes, I want boot. I had given those boots up when one evening they came. So the order of boots has been given to the shoemaker, Mr. Gessler, by the author, and the author got the shoes. One evening, one by one, I tried them on in shape and fit, in finish and quality of leather. They were the best he had ever made. I flew downstairs, wrote a check, and posted it at once with my own hand. And when the author has tried the boots, they were completely okay in shape, in size, and in finish and quality of leather. And what the author has done, he flew downstairs and he wrote a check and posted to Mr. Gessler. A week later, passing the little street, I thought I would go in and tell him how splendidly the new boots fitted. So after a week, when the author was passing the little street, he thought that he would go to Mr. Gessler and he would tell him that how splendidly the shoes were fitted to him. But when I came to where his shop had been, his name was gone. But when the author has gone there, the shop of Mr. Gessler was not there. I went in very much disturbed. In the shop there was a young man with an English face. Mr. Gessler and I said, no sir. He said, no, but we can attend to anything with pleasure. We have taken the shop over. So when the author has gone, the author has asked about Mr. Gessler in the shop. There was a young man with an English face. He said, no, Mr. Gessler is not there, but we can attend you with pleasure. We have taken the shop over. The author said, yes, yes. I said, but Mr. Gessler? Oh, he answered, dead. Dead, but I only received these boots from him last Wednesday week. The shopkeeper has answered that Mr. Gessler is dead, and the author was completely shocked at that time. He said, dead, but I received the boots from him last Wednesday only. Ah, he said, poor old man starved himself. The shopkeeper said that he has died due to starvation. He starved himself. He was not having enough food to eat. Slow starvation, the doctor called it. You see, he went to work in such a way, would keep the shop on, wouldn't have a soul touch his boots except himself. And the shopkeeper said that he was suffering from slow starvation. He was not having enough food, the doctor has informed. And he told to the author also that you see how he went to work. He continued work in every situation. When he got an order, it took him such a time, people won't wait, he lost everybody. And Mr. Gessler used to make a very fine quality of boots, so it took him a lot of time to prepare the boots and people cannot wait. So because of that he lost everybody, and there he would sit going on and on. I will say that for him not a man in London made a better boot. And the shopkeeper also said that not a single man of London can made a boot which is similar to Mr. Gessler. But look at the competition, he never advertised, would have the best leather too, and do it all himself. Well, there is it. What could you expect with his ideas? And the shopkeeper was going on and said that in the time of competition, Mr. Gessler has never advertised, and he was having best leather, he made the best boots. Well, what could you expect with his ideas? His ideas were too old. But starvation, the author said, that may be a bit flowery, as the saying is, but I know myself. He was sitting over his boots day and night to the very last. You see, I used to watch him. The shopkeeper continued saying that may be a bit flowery, but he was sitting there in the shop. He made the boots day and night, and till his last scene, I have seen him never gave himself time to eat, never had a penny in the house, all went in rent and leather. How he lived so long, I don't know. He regularly let his fire go out. He was a character, but he made good boots. And the shopkeeper said that he never gave time himself to eat. He was not having a penny in the house. Whatever he was having, he gave to the rent, gave in the rent and for the leather. And without money, how he lived so long, I don't know. He regularly let his fire go out, and he was a character. In the last, the shopkeeper said, but he made good boots. And the author replied, yes, I said he made good boots. So that was lesson 5a, quality. The quality of Mr. Gessler, that he was honest, that he was devoted to his work. He did not want to take the advantage of any advertisement. He want that people should encourage his talent only. So I hope the lesson is clear to all of you. If still any confusion is there, so you can ask me on the WhatsApp also. I'll meet you in the another explanation video. Till that, keep learning, stay home, stay safe. Bye bye everyone.